يفعل من بعد ومكنوني ربما سكر لي بالكاف والنون ما شاء يفعل من بعد ومكنوني.
Le programme suivant sera en anglais.
ربما سكر لي بالكاف والنون ما شاء يفعل من بعد ومكنوني ربما سكر لي بالكاف والنون ما شاء يفعل من بعد ومكنوني.
Le programme suivant sera en anglais.
ربما سكر لي بالكاف والنون ما شاء يفعل من بعد ومكنوني ربما سكر لي بالكاف والنون.
الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Brothers and sisters watching from Senegal and around the world, welcome again to this program Echo from Touba, happening every Wednesday 3:30 right here, 3 o'clock right here on Lamphal TV. You can follow us also on Facebook on our page Echo from Touba. But before, we're wishing long life to the Khalif of the Order, Serigne Muntaha al-Bashir, wishing him all the projects he's being saying and started. May Allah help him finish them all, inshallah. And also today we have a wonderful guest today to my right. There's Mr. Ousmane BANE. Ousmane BANE visiting from Thiès. He's a teacher. He's been teaching for 5 years almost in Dar es Salaam Junior High over there in Thiès. Also to our left we have S.Ousmane Leo. I hope my pronunciation is good. All right then. And then she's actually from Los Angeles, but she went to school in Pennsylvania at the Liberal Arts College, where she had bachelor degree today, and she's a volunteer also of Peace Corps. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about intercultural exchanges, also the millennial challenges of cultural exchanges. So no wonder we have these beautiful guests to talk about it. We're going to start to my right, Mr. BANE. Welcome again to the show.
Thank you so much. In the name of Allah, the merciful, the beneficent, all praise belong to Allah alone. Peace and blessings of Allah be on the last Prophet Muhammad,
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam,
his families and companions. I say Jerejef Serigne Touba, and I greet you for your invitation.
Thank you.
So
Thanks
much.
again. Elaine, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Elaine, you come from America and where you had education. Can you tell us about your background, educational background first before we start?
Yeah, sure. So after high school, I received a full tuition scholarship to go to Bucknell University. Not many people know about it, but it's a small private liberal arts college. And I studied the environment, and I studied comparative humanities. And after that, I decided to join the Peace Corps.
Right. Okay, that's beautiful. And BANE, can you tell us something about your
thank you.
educational background as
My background is that I went to Sheikh Anta Diop University, but before I was in Sheikh Ahmadou Ndack High School, and after Sheikh Ahmadou Ndack High School, I went to UCAT, Sheikh Anta Diop University, after I went to FASTEF, where I got my degree as a teacher. Right.
Tell us about Sheikh Anta Diop. Who's Sheikh Anta Diop? In 2 seconds. I think we're going to have another program. We're going to talk about that icon.
Sheikh Anta Diop is a lecturer in Senegal, a very well-known person, a physician as well. Right. And he did a lot for this country.
Absolutely. Okay, Elaine, what triggered your decision of coming first to Senegal?
Well, a lot of things led to my decision. I've always wanted to help people, and I was always interested in working in the environment because I think when you work in the environment, you help everybody. And I decided to come to Senegal because where the environmental impacts are the most extreme are probably in Africa. And Senegal is really interesting geographically because you have a very diverse geography throughout the country. You have the desert to the north, you have really lush forests in the south, and then you have sort of the transition zone in between. So you can literally see the change in the landscape, and you can very actively work towards making that desert turn back into forest or grasslands.
Refurbish it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Is it your own decision, or are you from the school or from Peace Corps itself?
Own decision. Peace Corps, they say, is a privilege.
Right.
It's a privilege to be accepted. It's a privilege to come to the country. It's an experience of a lifetime, so I'm really happy that I have this chance. And I'm trying to make the most of it.
I hope so. Is it a lot of, you see youngsters over there, a lot of them having your ideas, being, volunteering, doing the same thing, or is it just minimal?
Maybe I'm biased because I try to find the people that are like me.
Right.
I think a lot of people have those ideas.
Right.
Everybody, I think, wants to help, wants to be a good person. It's just a question of, do you take that step to actively make change? And from the volunteers that I've met, they, especially like people that I know personally, they want to make a difference. That's why they're here.
Right, beautiful. And I'm going to turn to you, BANE, and tell you, seeing very active persons like her and many others from Peace Corps coming to Senegal, and you being the one who embraced them to help them and go through the cities and help the villages and help people. How do you take that? There's a challenge in there. How do you deal with that?
It's a big privilege to have Peace Corps volunteers coming in our city, like Medina Fall. As I used to say, Medina Fall is a nice city with people and with great people, and their coming there has made a positive change. And they came and then they help children, they help students, and they help as well as farmers to have great things to do in their farming and things like this.
How do they get oriented to families? Is it from you guys or from Peace Corps?
In fact, it is a friend of mine that my mentor, I may say, Bashir Khan, who help us to put us in, to keep us in touch with them, and then they come in Medina Fall and then start to work for the community.
That's beautiful. Don't forget to follow us also on Facebook. Once again, Eco from Touba is live, and also you can like the page and send us your suggestions about this particular program. Elaine, when you came in, did you were oriented by the ambassador, Mr. Mushingi, who was saluting him? Very open-minded person, though. He's doing a lot of things here. We're following his activities in Senegal, meeting people around and doing a lot of stuff. Right. Is it from Mushingi who oriented you to chess, or is how I want to know since after you came from the airport, where did you go?
So after we came from the airport, they bussed us all to the chess training center. Right. That's where we do training. So Peace Corps volunteers in Senegal all do a very intensive training, and we're there for about 2.5 months. And while we're there, we learn language, culture, and we learn technical skills. So I learned Wolof, and then we had to go live with host families. So I was in Tiwawan studying Wolof, and I was with a host family, and I tried to integrate as much as possible. Right. And the initial period, like coming to Senegal, was a bit of a shock, of course, but I think with like the efforts of the Peace Corps volunteers, once they swear in, we are pretty prepared, I think, for our service. And you adapted also a Senegalese name, which is Mbadosu. Mbadosu Coulibaly. Coulibaly. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. And also in terms of your activities, and before you get to that, I want to just know about the about Peace Corps itself, their impact in Senegal. Yeah. And first, when did they start it to come to this country? If you have any knowledge on that. Peace Corps in Senegal is one of the longest standing countries open. Okay. So Peace Corps is everywhere in the world, but Senegal is one of the oldest countries. It started as a teaching program in the 70s, and it's been transformed. They've done sports programs, youth and education. Now they've moved to agriculture, community economic development, and health. And I don't know, it's just a really good, it's a really well-established program. Everything runs really well,
Smoothly.
I think. Yeah, pretty smoothly because it has such a history in Senegal. And they have a lot of initiatives going on right now throughout the country. We have like moringa initiatives, projects, cashew initiatives. We do a lot of work in trying to start like businesses throughout Senegal. We try to train people in new farming techniques, conservation, anything that we can provide to help enable people
Betterment
in Senegal.
of life in Senegal, right?
Yeah, to get new skills. That's what they try to do. That's what we try to do.
Okay, that is a foreign, an American point of view in terms of Peace Corps. For a local point of view, what do you think about the Peace Corps organization?
Yeah, it's a nice organization because Peace Corps are doing a lot, and I really like works related on the spirit of volunteerism, because volunteerism is something very great, and they left their country just to come in our country and help us. It is something great. I just want to say youngsters to try to do some activities related on the spirit of volunteerism. It's very, very, very interesting. And we youngsters, we should try to do such kind of things.
Right. To consider yourself as a world citizen, though.
Yeah, of course,
then,
of course.
You know, what happened to the planet will affect all citizens of Mother Planet Earth. Of course, Elaine, Peace Corps is around. There's going to be some challenges, of course.
Yes, of course.
But first, is it a government organization or is it a private one?
It's a government
organization. By the government, United States of America.
Yeah, it's a partnership between the Senegalese government and the U.S. government.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, of course, they're going to have challenges, though, when they come to Senegal. Can you enumerate the type of challenges, some of them, that Peace Corps is encountering?
Probably the biggest challenge that a lot of people face when they come in is language. Senegal is a French-speaking country, but a lot of people also speak Wolof or Mendika Pular only. Right. So that's the initial challenge. Another challenge might be just it's so different culturally from America. The greetings, the way that you eat, the way you dress, all of that is new, and we have to figure out how to integrate into that. Also, the religion is so entwined into the culture, and a lot of people in America are not familiar with Islam, and needing to learn to recognize where the culture and the religion come together and respecting it is really important. Maybe not a challenge, but a new learning curve. Right.
So, and when you came in, you went to the village over there. I mean, your first, view of the village. What is it you had in your mind of seeing for the first time an African village, seeing kids around? What's your take on that? What is it that really impacted in your mind at first view of an African village?
I don't really actually know, because I've seen villages passing. Oh, okay. But I haven't been to a village itself. And I haven't lived in a village, because I am in Chess, which is urban. But I know a lot of volunteers who are in village, and they seem to really enjoy their life there. Things get pared down a lot in terms of comforts, so electricity, running water, those things might not exist. But in turn, you gain some simplicity, I think, in life. And compared to like the pace of American life, sometimes that's desirable.
What's your appreciation of the culture here, though, as a whole? How do you see African or Senegalese culture itself? What's your appreciation on that?
I mean, I really appreciate Senegalese culture. I appreciate the openness of religion. I think the Islamic religion it exists in Senegal is one that not many people are aware of. Right. And the way that it's practiced is very peaceful. Very people are very in touch with God, and I think that changes the perception that a lot of Americans might have of people in Islam. I also really enjoy the Senegalese fashion. I think it's wonderful.
You do? Do you wear them though?
I have some things, but you know, on a volunteer budget.
Yeah, I saw some of those posters though with the with Mr. BANE at school.
Yeah,
that was pretty gorgeous though, with you know, the African outfits and stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to make my.
Is it a must though on Peace Corps for you guys to come and wear those African clothes?
It's not a must. It's recommended because clothes are very important in Senegalese culture. Yeah. That's
beautiful. So, I mean, there's a culture coming, meeting another culture. What did you learn, BANE, from meeting the other side of?
We learn a lot. Because,
like what, for instance?
We first learn about the American culture by books, in our books, and in American civilization. But having ELAINE and other Peace Corps volunteers really help us to know exactly the American culture, because they really like working. They also like they have great values, I may say. Whatever they say, whether they say to you that I will come on time, they will come on time, and they are really great people, very sensitive people, very sensible people, and then we really like that culture.
So you like what you see? That's beautiful.
That's I hope so.
Well, that's very positive, though. That's nice. I think this is challenges of life, for the future generation, really, to meet, to go out, meet other people, meet other cultures, and then even in Africa, I think you know it should happen. You know, from Gambia, come to Senegal, to Cameroon. And know Africa first before I'm sure you know everybody. I mean, the American culture is well seated in America itself, you know. And that's a sad part here in Africa. African people don't know themselves. They don't travel too much. They don't meet other cultures, and it really doesn't help. We're gonna move on to the next section of our conversation, though, having again Ousmane BANE visiting from Chess, teaching at junior high over there, and ELAINE Luyo, is it right?
Lac. Lac, like Lac Rose?
Right. Yeah. ELAINE, why they wrote it L-O-U though?
I changed my name on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but my real last name is Lac.
Is Lac, all right. ELAINE Lac, though, or Madusu Koulibaly, visiting from America, from Peace Corps, of course, being active in many projects, especially in Chess area. And we want to move on to education, though, the challenges of education in Africa. We're having a problem. You cannot have real progress if your population is not educated, though. What is your appreciation of the education in what you saw firsthand in Chess?
I think the education, like in America, it's about access, providing access to people who need education, and a lot of that I think is determined by whether or not you have money and whether or not you're a boy or a girl. So like me teaching in Medina Fall is my attempt to provide access to whoever wants to have an English education. So whether or not you're a talibé, if you're a girl, if you're poor, it doesn't matter. Classes are free. So you can come and try.
You do in the school area over there, or where do you do it? In a private house, or?
So we teach at a school that provides a space for free, and we teach English for 2 hours a week on Sundays.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm open to any student that needs extra help as well.
So that's a challenge, though, to help youngsters to learn more English, of course, for the betterment of the education. But I wanted to just have your feel about, you know, what you saw in terms of the intellectual level of you saw in Senegal. Is it okay, or there's a lot to be done?
I think it's okay if you have pursued education.
It becomes a government challenge instead of
it definitely does. It is one that I think America experiences as well.
Just like Peace Corps, what they do and stuff, right?
I think for the most part, I mean, I see a lot of people who are in school who have I can't really speak to it on terms of like a national statistical level, but those who go to school in like larger cities and parents who are invested in their children's educations, I think those people do have a quality education.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, Mr. BANE, in terms of education challenges, what can you tell us about the system? You're in the system.
Yeah.
You've been teaching for 5 years already.
Yeah,
so, your description of our system,
yeah,
is it
I
okay?
think that we have a good system, but we can improve that system. And in terms of improving, we may think of trying to help teachers. Teachers, we are I may say, to have access to materials, and as well as having good salaries as people
are
talking
about money.
No,
sometimes it's about the money though.
No, it's not
about intellectual power.
Yeah, it's not about money, but
and volunteering
having
as well.
Good status would be also good for teachers, because I see that teachers are doing a lot for their students at school, and I see that in terms of salaries, they are not really well paid. If the government could increase, I may say, the salaries of teachers, it would be something great. I don't talk on behalf of all teachers.
Yeah, sometimes I have to have problems with teachers. I'm not going to open that window.
Yeah, I know, because
if you see a huge educational challenge like we have in Senegal, I think your goal would have been much more in terms of helping the kid with a little amount of knowledge, instead of focusing all the time on how much money
I'm not focusing on
I'm not talking about you as you know,
and as well, I don't talk on behalf of teachers,
right.
But my point of view is that I think that where the teachers have good salaries,
right.
They may do their job greater. And I see that teachers here, they are doing a lot for their kids, for their students. They are doing very good job for their students.
They are.
I myself, I am teaching for free in my district since years, and I think that that is something.
Are a lot of teachers doing that? Like, I don't see just like Peace Corps. She kind of tell us about how volunteering in
I
Africa,
see many
thousands of miles away from their own country.
Yes.
But I don't see like your organization, like in terms of Senegal, teachers getting together, going to Casamance, for instance, for a week, teaching over there, helping in terms of environment and other stuff. But I see them anytime when school is open, it's all about money all the time, not about giving out knowledge.
Well, I think that here teachers also, they are really doing
I'm not bashing nobody though, I'm just giving my point of view.
They are doing a very good job.
Right, they are. I hope so.
They are helping their students. They are trying to train their students so as they may be the future, the leaders of tomorrow. And it's a very good.
So you're hopeful for the future?
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I think that tomorrow is another day for the educational system of Senegal.
Okay. So Elaine, how significant is the impact of Peace Corps in Senegal right now? If you given for an evaluation.
It's a hard question. I can try to explain it in numbers. So we have currently about 260 or 70 volunteers throughout the country of Senegal. We try to focus on our impact with people directly. So we provide knowledge, we facilitate interactions between people on an individual level. So the impact you see is not going to be like a huge scale, but it can be one that can change a person's life by helping them start a business, helping them manage their business, scale their business, or helping them with their farm, providing them with tools, technology that may help them to be more productive on that farm.
Right.
So in 2 years, a volunteer may finish 2 to 3 projects, maybe 4 if they're really, if they're a John Bar. and that project may change the life of a
lot of people.
4 people who can hopefully be the educators of their communities and provide those same opportunities for people in their village. So the impact potentially is greater than it seems, than what we report to Washington. And people have come out of their with after 2 years with their volunteers, I think with their lives significantly improved.
That's beautiful. But in terms of since you guys going to meet directly some private people, is it going to be better to meet some NGOs like organizations like teachers and even the army in certain countries, in Senegal for instance, to give them the example of volunteering, the example of what if a person can do this. I think if they are more multiple people, the result will be much better.
Right.
So what's stopping you guys from involving NGOs and associations and stuff like that in Senegal?
Well, there isn't anything stopping us from doing that. It's just that Senegal likes to place its volunteers in villages, and NGOs aren't really near the villages.
Right.
But
they're all in Dakar.
Yeah, but for
chilling in Dakar, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know.
No, that's my word.
Yeah.
Not yours, right?
Well, but like volunteers that are in bigger cities can have the opportunity to partner with NGOs, to partner with larger organizations. So that is possible. It's all like up to what the volunteer takes on and who they manage to connect with their work.
Right, that's beautiful. Okay, Ousmane, they in Medina Fall.
Yeah.
And if you say Medina Fall, you cannot but think of Sheikh Ibrahim Fall.
Yeah, of course.
One of the icon of this community, of the Murid community, who lived in Medina Fall for numbers of years. Why the choice of Medina Fall? It was yours or it was from the Murid community?
Yeah, I think that it is mine because I live in Medina Fall. And we had some projects like starting some project in Medina Fall, like teaching students for free and helping talibés and helping manual workers to have access to education, reason why they come in Medina Fall. And then coming in Medina Fall is very beneficial for the community, and it's really
beautiful. How did you find Medina Fall as a city as a whole? How did you integrate over there?
How did I think of it?
Right.
I think it looks very different from Chess because the buildings are lower and they're much closer together, and there's also this feeling of, I think, authentic Senegal that some parts of Chess may lack. So I felt more at home in Medina Fall than
in the center of the city.
Yeah, than in the center of the city, because everybody is greeting each other, everyone knows each other, and it seems like it's a city that people may forget in Chess because it is on the outside of Chess, and it's not necessarily the richest neighborhood. So I just felt a sense of hospitality and a need to give to the community. To the community,
right? Positive stuff. Are you acquainted to the Millennium Challenge from America?
The challenges of the millennials?
The Millennium Challenge
right.
is an organization that is created by, it was during George Bush era.
Oh, yes.
And it's kind of money that is being poured out in certain countries like Africa to help them. There's a lot of things, bridges being built, highways, and a lot of money comes from that organization. Is it Peace Corp really getting some money from the Millennium Challenge?
I don't think so. So the Millennium Challenge, I think, is that the Bill Gates Foundation?
No, actually, it's from the U.S. Department.
It's from the U.S. Department.
Yeah. It's you have to meet some really things though in order to get some of that money. Right. And Senegal been having that since for close to 20 years almost.
Wow. Well, I didn't know about it.
Most of the agriculture from the river by Fouta, Madam, they're getting a lot of money from that organization actually, in fact.
Well, I haven't heard of it until now, but it sounds really interesting.
It is.
But the Peace Corps operates a different budget in the government.
Right.
And has its funding from like USAID and from various NGOs that provide money for projects. So it's a separate entity, I think.
Right. We're gonna have one of these days with some of those Millennium Challenge partners though to tell us about the impact of their work in Senegal. And also we're planning to have Mr. Mushingi, the ambassador of the United States of America here in Dakar. Again, a very active person we've seen running around doing a lot of stuff, helping, putting out help also from the State Department. Mr. Ban, we're gonna move up to the environmental impact now of Peace Corp and you guys. About the environmental impact, what's been done over there first time in Medina Fall?
Okay, in Medina Fall they start to, as I said a while back, they start to help farmers, and farmers now they start being trained, and then for the kids as well, they teach the kids, meaning the students, and then they have now good levels of English, and then they are really close to the culture, and then they know a little bit about America, and they know a little bit about the values of the United States, and they have a positive impact in what they are doing.
How about the environment, though? Environmental challenges over there. I mean, teaching them about hygiene first, but also going up to teach them about, you know, first-hand agriculture and farming. What do they do?
Yeah, I think that the population, they welcome well the Peace Corps volunteers, and they really love them. And she may witness that the population is really welcoming. And the students as well, they are welcoming, and then we have started to see that the levels of English is improving, and they are doing a good job. And what is coming next is better
than what we're having right now. Okay, Elaine, environmental impact. You know, with the world challenge right now, things are going really not almost close to ridiculous in terms of climate change, though, and also President Trump pulled out from the Paris contract in terms of helping planet Earth. You came. And if we're speaking about environment challenge, Africa, you know, occupies the first seats, though, having many problems in terms of environment. So if you come to help, it's very significant, though. So how do you do it? How Peace Corps is doing is managing with his help, though, in terms of helping environment, firsthand in Medina Fall itself.
Well, in Medina Fall, right now, currently we're trying to do sustainable farming. So that's the farming that doesn't use pesticides, doesn't use any insecticides or fertilizers, and tries to minimize the use of water. So we're trying to conserve as much of the topsoil as possible, which is like one of Senegal's main environmental issues, erosion. Losing that topsoil is really detrimental to future agricultural productivity. So in Medina Fall, in the garden that we're starting, we are practicing sustainable gardening practices, and then we're also in contact with farmers in Medina Fall, and we're going to do a 6-day sustainable farming training for them. So that's one small way we can do it. We can focus on the farmers. We also have one sector of Peace Corps, which is agroforestry. So these are volunteers that focus on planting trees, building a sustainable use of land by increasing forests and increasing topsoil, holding topsoil down with the trees,
preserving it.
So and a lot of volunteers are in the north, where this is really vital.
Absolutely.
It's definitely hard, but it's so important
with the heat and
and the lack of water, the dryness.
Right. That's a big challenge, Mr. Ban, in terms of you know, helping with farming. And why the school? Why can't they embrace these ideas and start having farm in schools, in primary schools, teaching them, because there's a lot of kids that are getting in those schools, though, and believe me, there's a lot of time.
Under her guidance, we are trying to implement those kind of projects in our school, and in my school, for example, we would like to have a garden, and then help the kids to know to learn about farming and things like this. And then under her guidance, I say we can do it.
Because if you see in Senegal, use pesticides, agriculture is really what we're eating is not. I'm not the one sitting to tell you it's negative for our health, though. But is for instance the government in terms of, or the Ministry of Education could get involved in situations like this, and then, you know, propagate all this knowledge in our schools.
For sure.
And is it possible for them to approach Peace Corps?
Of course, it's possible.
Is it a way right now, or what's happening?
they can do it.
They can.
It's
But
possible.
are they doing it, or
not yet? I don't think.
not
so.
even in their mind?
Not yet. But I think that they can do it. They can do
I'm
it.
giving you a
they
hard
are
time,
going and they are going to do it.
We all know about the challenges.
Yeah.
What's holding me is why. What's holding also? What is it? Why people are not
If
doing
we
anything about it?
remember in the past, whenever we were in elementary school, we used to have gardens at the school, but now we do not see garden in schools. But now we can try to, in Medina Fall, I think that we can try to have a garden at school, in the high school or some primary school. And personally, in my school, we will have a garden.
Alhamdulillah. I always have, even myself, have a project for Touba that I talk about it with my Sheikh Murtada, Sheikh Abdullah, to replant trees around Touba, because you know, the desert is coming from Luga, you know about it, and it's getting harder, and cutting a tree, destroying the ecosystem, is just not something to be that have to be avoided. So we need a lot of hands, though, in terms of rebuilding that system that will, you know, it's just for us. You help those guys, we're going to stay alive and well. The opposite will just be detrimental to humanity as a whole. So there's more challenges. There's anything you can say on that, because you know, it's something that's really holding me hard, though. I mean, the environmental issues. Is there anything you can add up to?
Well, it is a really important issue. I understand why you are concerned, but to speak to why gardens don't exist in schools, I know some schools in Chess have gardens, just not all of them.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of things you could talk about why people don't do things for the environment. A lot of the reason why is because it's such a large idea.
Right.
A lot of people don't see it happening right in front of you. You can see like your finances in front of you, but you can't see the environmental impact in front of you. And I think that takes a lot of education, of course.
Absolutely deeper.
And that's kind of why the opportunities in Senegal are unique, because you are so close to the desert. You can see the desert encroaching on your space.
Right, the danger up front.
Yeah, and hopefully that kind of wakes people up to the fact that the environmental crisis is real. And I think people are aware of it. They just need some sort of little click to get there.
Right. Hopefully, and hope that click will come from the government, though, because they know all these problems, and we all know it. The desert is coming at, you know, fast pace from Mauritania. He already hit hard St. Louis. I mean, Luga is almost gone, and then it is, you know, and the heat is degrees and more every year, and it's just a little to be done. You just have to go out there, plant trees, and then keep everybody safe. We having again today a wonderful guest today, and then I'm enjoying the show because in terms of love cultural exchanges, though. I have a lot of faith on youngsters, though, for future, for challenges, people going, meeting each others and helping, considering yourself as a world citizen instead of only one country's citizen. I'm not involving in America first, though. You know, involving in world citizenship is one planet rotating around one, you know, the solar system, and it belongs to everybody. So being a world citizen is just, I guess, a must. We cannot talk about Peace Corps without talking about peace itself.
Right.
And which is also another challenge for the world right now. In terms of peace, Elaine, the world is really a mess right now. If you go to Syria, Iraq, come to Africa, Congo, go down to Central Africa, South America, peace. This is something really we need. What can you tell us about what we should do to really get together finally?
Yeah. Well, if I had the answer to that, we wouldn't have these problems, right?
You'd be at the UN right now.
Yeah, I would be, and I could change the world. But I guess the thing I can lend to that is, exchange, cultural exchange, what
Right.
we're doing right now, and coming to an understanding and being okay with the differences we have with each other. I
Right.
think those are all really key to having peace throughout the world.
And respect, though.
Yes, yes,
Right.
it's respect, exactly.
Respecting other cultures.
Yeah, if you have a difference, and that's okay.
But
fine with me.
it's not about money thing, though, in terms of, challenges of powers, that is really not involving citizens itself, though, from government going around just destroying stuff,
Right.
and then, I don't think it's most of it the population problem. It's more of a power problem. Don't you think it's right?
Well, I think that's a geopolitical
Is
question.
it? Is it?
Yeah,
Right, right.
it might be one that's too big to answer. The happenings of larger governments is one that I'm not privy to,
Right.
because I'm just.
But it's
Just me.
more of a problems I see if it's in Syria, it's religious. If you go to Israel and Jerusalem, there's a religious problem. You go to Central Africa, it's Christians, and why is it all the time there's a religious challenge in terms of peace in the world?
I mean, religion is important to people, but once you lose sight of that general respect for other people's ideas and ways of life, I think that's when you get into trouble. Yeah, that's why I appreciate Senegal so much, because you are very tolerant of other religions.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Ben, about the peace thing, what can be done to achieve it finally?
Yeah, I think that for peace we should just first mutual respect, understanding, love. If we do so, we will have peace. And we can take the example of Senegal, where you cannot identify a Christian to a Muslim or someone who does not believe in something.
Right.
There is no problem.
It's very personal.
It's very, very, very personal. And
also, Islam teaches us la ikra fi din.
Yeah,
Don't push nobody to believe.
Of course,
it's up to them to think.
Course,
it's more of pushing
course.
people to use their own mind, though.
Of course. So we should be, as you said a while back, global citizens. And if we do so, I think that we won't have problems to have wars or things like this.
Right.
Because as you may identify, whether you take the map of the world, wherever you put your hands, there is something. There is a fight, or there is a war. And I think that we need peace for everywhere, wherever. And we need also peace in Casamance, because it is
our brothers in Casamance.
Yes, our brothers in Casamance.
Right.
They are really great people, and then we need peace there. And for definitely.
So, like the same question I asked before, though, is most of these turmoils is kind of oriented to religion. So what is it? Why always is the interfaith problem?
Maybe people, they don't know, they don't understand exactly the religion, I may say, because I don't see any religion any religion where you have to say that you should go on war or anything like this. No, religion, they foster peace, and peace should be. Should have peace for everyone.
Right, religion is for everybody.
For everybody.
So what we should do is to stop that. I mean, is it like the question I asked Elaine a while ago? Is it, you think it's more of a power problem? People using power from government to just create those problems? It's really not most of the populations, though, because a lot of people they don't even know where those wars are happening. So is it more government challenges? Don't you think?
I think it's more government challenges, but I think that we also, the population, we should try to see our authorities, people who elect, that we elect, and by doing so, I think that we won't have those kind of problems, because if those problems are peaceful, we will have peace in the world.
Definitely, we need peace. Again, having S.Ousmane BANE visiting from Chess, Junior High over there, and Elaine Lack visiting. There you go, Elaine Lack visiting also from Los Angeles, and right now at Chess, also Peace Corps volunteering, helping children, teaching, helping in agriculture, in farming, and many other levels here in Senegal. These exams needs to be highlighted. That's why we're having a program like this to help out, and also to trigger, hopefully, other volunteers. Especially, you cannot just wait for volunteers to come. Be volunteer yourself in your own country, in your own continent. Be active. Go out there. There's a lot of things. I mean, just open your door wherever you live in Africa. You'll see something that needs to be clean your window, clean something. You know, help out. You know, do something for Mother Earth, and eventually Mother Earth will definitely need that. I'm going to come to the last segment of our program, of course, in terms of role of millennials generation, the challenges. But before that, I will ask you, Peace Corps for the future. What is it your plans for in Senegal for the future?
For the after Peace Corps, or just in Senegal?
Peace Corps, and then in Senegal, and then you'll mention also.
Oh, well, my plans while I'm here, I hope to start more gardens. I hope to be able to educate as many people as I can about sustainable farming, and I want to also help girls in chess by empowering them and providing them with someone to look up to, and help them realize their full potential. And then after Peace Corps, I want to go to get my master's. I want to do environmental management. I want to work for the government because I love the government. Yeah.
Are you planning to come back after maybe work in Senegal?
I mean,
it depends on what government does.
Who knows? Inshallah, who knows?
Right.
The world is, the future is unknown. And
how's your Wolof, by the way?
Mangi jang.
Ba legi mokal nga?
Mangi jang.
Mokal nga legi? You're learning?
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Ba legi.
Naka sa mbokk yi foofu?
Your
neighbors over there and
families?
You had a little long way to go.
Yeah, I know.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. For the millennial generation, same question I asked though. What is the challenges for the? What do you have to tell for the millennial generation challenge?
Yeah, for the young generation, I may think that they should be having access to education. If they have access to education, I think that doors may be open to them. And as a young person, I may say I am trying, and we are trying to help students all around Senegal to have access to education. And then we start in Medina Fall, but we will go and spread it all around Senegal so as people may have access to education. And personally, I would like to thank the population of Medina Fall for welcoming the project and sending their kids to come and learn all about leadership.
Is Peace Corps, I mean, you guys asked Peace Corps to give you
yes,
some elements?
We asked Peace Corps S.Ousmane here to come and help, because over there we have some other some teachers who are helping, some teachers who live the district who are helping, plus some other students at the university who are helping, and then they are doing a great job.
Is Peace Corps active in Touba, our city?
Yes, I think you have a economic volunteer there.
Volunteers over there?
Yeah.
Well, how is
I only know of one so far, yeah.
So there's more to be done over there.
Maybe.
It's the second largest city in Senegal, Touba. There's over 2 million people over there. So there's something to be done. So tell them, Peace Corps. There's there's people ready to embrace them, and there's a lot to be done as well. Mr. Ban, you active also in Daras. You know, you want to help really poor children. Sometimes people think sending your kids to Dara is just to give them hard time, and sometimes it's really hard for kids.
It's very very
and most of those kids coming in Daras in Senegal, they're not actually from Senegal. Most of them are from other countries around the country.
Are from other countries like Mauritania, like
Can you describe
Gambia.
the situation in the Daras in Senegal right now?
Yes, the situation of the Taliban in the Daras are a little bit difficult, because you have seen some Talibans with filthy clothes, with no sandals. They can stay 2 weeks without bathing, okay, and they are harassingly beaten by sometimes their marabouts, and it's very, very difficult. And I would like to take the occasion to greet you and to thank you for what you are doing for the Talibans, because we have seen a new type of Taliban, I may say. They can go to the Dara and then they learn the Quran without being beaten.
They call it modern Dara school, right?
Modern Dara schools, but and you are doing a good job.
But isn't that also a little bit of odds that the government is spending over 40% of the budget in education without the Daras getting zero, nothing.
Daras are forgotten, I may say. Daras are forgotten.
And then they turn around and say, okay, you guys should clean the Daras, and there's nothing coming in the Daras.
Sometimes I may say Talibans are a little bit underestimated. Sometimes they call the marabouts or the Talibans just to have to recite the Quran and it's over. But they don't think of helping those Talibans. Yes, of helping those Talibans to have better living conditions. But because I think that having better living conditions is really...
The government is having 40 new daras though, modern one being built. I think they started it already.
Yeah, they can open and open other daras, so as you may have Talibans living in those daras and be well in their daras.
Don't you think they should listen to the population, because sometimes they need, different education?
Yeah, of course.
Some people want to learn the Quran first, others want to go up. But you say they just have one only type of education for everybody.
That is my point of view.
It's not fair there.
It's not fair. My point of view is that even you are a Taliban, you should be open to the rest of the world. You can learn Quran, you can learn French, you can learn English, you can learn other subjects. That would be so fine. And then I would like to say to people to go to the daras, especially mainly youngsters, to help, and teachers also to help, to go to the daras to help. They can do something. An action is enough. Only an action is enough. You can go and help, like going to teach, like what I'm doing and what my colleagues are doing, and you can go and help, like giving a chew and things like this. That's
helpful.
That's helpful for them.
Beautiful. Having again today S.Ousmane BANE, a teacher from GAYE, and S.Ousmane Lek, who had the bachelor degree from Bucknell University in Pennsylvania, talking about challenges in terms of cultural exchanges, though, Peace Corps, being active in Senegal. Again, hopefully we're going to have one day Mr. Mushingi, who was very active again and who knows more about not just Peace Corps, but also the Millennium Challenges and the activities they're having in our country. Been very productive, though, in the north, and we've seen that before. Elaine, something about the Talibans in Dakar, the kids you see around with the, asking for money and doing. What's your opinion about that?
Well, I think the pure aim of the Talibans, of the Daras, is a good one. But when it starts to get complicated with like what S.Ousmane
health
was saying,
issues and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's when I think you need probably to support the Taliban more and provide them also with opportunities after their Dara schools if they choose not to be Quranic teachers. That's why we have our garden. That's what we're trying to teach them, and to provide them with support so that they can go do something else with their lives if they so choose.
Does Peace Corps he's active on Daras, helping Daras? And
No, Peace Corps doesn't really have any specific mission with Daras. It's just if you as a volunteer... If you guys targeting poverty and you see poverty in Daras, what's stopping Peace Corps from helping them? Well, it's like what I'm doing. If a volunteer sees that that's area of concern, then they can choose to put their efforts there. Right.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And BANE also, NGOs are coming now, going, helping those Daras with a lot of difficulties, though. Sometimes some guys are very good in terms of helping, but others are, doing some negative stuff.
Of course.
The amount of money and not really directed it to the daughters. What can you tell us about those type of stuff? Those NGOs coming in?
Well, as we are lucky to have an NGO named Hope for Senegal.
Hope. You have an NGO?
Yeah, no, we don't have an NGO, but you have an association, but we have an NGO who is named after Hope for Senegal, and who help the Talibans by providing a garden, a collective garden for the Talibans in Medina Fall, where they can learn all about farming and things like this. But they help the Talibans as well to get access to education by providing bikes and things like this, and many tools so as Talibans may go to school. And this association this NGO is very, very, very helpful and very useful in the Thiès area. And well, whether I see other NGOs, I may say treating the issue of the daras in other way. Well, it's a little bit complicated, and it's a little bit sad as well, because I think that the aim of NGOs should be to go to people and who are in dire needs and help them. That is what I think.
So if you say involvement, you're gonna probably say money. Where did the NGOs get the money from?
I don't know. Sometimes some NGOs, they have money from other people, but
like, I mean, I hope you're the one you affiliated to. Who's helping you?
The one who is helping us, I think they have money through people. There are some people who are helping them to support other people, because their aim is that to help people everywhere, and then their money is really clean money, and they are helping the Taliban.
All right. So when it comes to money, people are always evasive. But anyway, I mean, Elaine, I mean, also about those NGOs though.
Right.
Are you acquainted to them in Senegal?
Yeah, to a few of them, just not very directly. So like Tostan.
Tostan, right.
There's the Jika, Kwika. Those are the Japanese and the Korean Peace Corps organizations. Heifer International.
Right.
I don't work directly with them. I know of them though. But Peace Corps, we have a different approach to development work. We don't focus on giving money per se. We try to build capacity in people. So trying to help people with their skills and with building their own lives so that they can be self-sufficient. Because sometimes throwing money isn't always the best way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Elaine, you came to Senegal now. You visited. It's been a while now. You saw the culture. You saw the social structure. You saw the religious group. Your suggestion about you can give to Senegalese government, society as a whole after your appreciation. What is it? The suggestions you could give us in terms of whatever you pick from culture, from religious, something, you know, maybe we need to be
so
better.
So something that I always get asked is like, how can I make money? How can I do this and that with? And what I see is that Senegal has a lot of potential for business and for creating innovative products for the people. And I think if we focus on that, and we focus on being more meticulous about our businesses and maybe our farms, and keeping records and learning, constantly progressing towards scaling our businesses, I think like Senegal has a lot of potential to be much more you know,
I think it comes down to, it's not how much money you got in your pocket, but how much intellect you got in your mind. The show is so fast, just 1 hour is over, and it's been nice to have you guys, BANE.
Thank you.
Elaine, it's wonderful to talk to you, and it was very good with all the knowledge you guys pour out in this particular show. What's going to be your last word?
Well, my last word
and your salam alaikum as well?
Yeah, my salam alaikum, and my last word would be to thank first Elaine on behalf of our association, English Challenge English Family, and to thank also the staff of the Peace Corps, and to thank the population of Medina Fall. I bear Medina Fall into my heart. I really love Medina Fall.
Mashallah.
And I would like also to thank the person with whom I'm working with, they are doing a good job. Even if they are young, they are I don't want to quote. I don't want to, but I can quote some people like Mamadou Loum, Fallou Kassé, Amadou Bokoum Fall, Aliou Boy.
All you guys.
Yes, they are really good person, and then they say no good job. I thank my family as well.
Beautiful.
And then my friend Talibes, my Talibes
all
friends, I thank them.
Right. Elaine, your last word, hopefully in Wolof.
Oh my goodness.
That was a surprise, right?
Wow, jërëjëf waay for the
Right.
I'm really happy that I've had this opportunity to
Thank you.
talk and discuss. It was very enlightening, and I'm happy to be in Senegal.
MashaAllah.
And if anybody is interested in agriculture.
How long are you going to stay again?
2 years.
2 years, right.
Till December 2019.
MashaAllah,
So
MashaAllah.
I'll be in Chess. So if you're ever there,
Right.
and you're interested in sustainability and
Right.
farming and helping people, anything like that,
Beautiful.
I'm always available.
Lamfal will come and visit you, inshallah.
Yes, please.
All right, that was beautiful. Thanks to our guests, though, and everybody watching. Don't forget to follow us on our page, though. Eco from Touba, every Wednesday right here on Lamfal at 3 o'clock. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Jërëjëfati Sëriñ Touba. Jërëjëf lëkkee Maam Cheikh Ibrahima Fall.
الناس كالذي بالكاب والنون ما شاء يفعل من بعد ومكنون الناس كالذي بالكاب والنون ما شاء يفعل